been a while. I'm back in the saddle. I've been on holiday once again. You must think he never does any fucking work. Well, you'd be right. I was on holiday once again. It was up north. I've been to a wedding, but now I'm back and I have had to suffer through. I'm only joking. I've had to endure lots of fucking deathmatch wrestling since I've been away. But first things first, last night on Twitter and on YouTube and on Facebook, Matt Tremont cut probably one of the best fucking promos I've ever seen in deathmatch wrestling. He was in the ring at the H2O Centre, no ropes, all barbed wire. He was smashing himself in the head with light tubes, running himself in the barbed wire. And basically on October 30th, 31st, the Friday and the Saturday for the H2O's Wrestling Centre, we have got Matt Tremont's Deathmatch Tournament. And I think the day afterwards we have got Matt Tremont, who is now back. I don't know if that means he's back in deathmatch wrestling full time, because if he was, hopefully he'll be at GCW fucking No Peace Underground, ICW, but I doubt that. He has called out Onita. He has finally answered Onita's challenge, and he is probably going to be fighting Onita in an exploding no rope barbed wire match in the US during fucking Matt Tremont's deathmatch weekend. Over Halloween weekend, so thank fucking Jesus Christ Matt Tremont's back. Awesome. Anyway, we have got so many fucking reviews to do for this. I will quickly go over the first one. I've got all the cards here so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different shows. So first of all, I'll just go over the H2O show, Hustlepalzooa. This was on the 25th of July. This was at the same venue. I think this was the day after night 1 of GCW's Homecoming. So this was the 25th of July. So we had a 6-pack challenge for the H2O hybrid title. Gregory Iron, Brandon Kirk, Lucky 13, Mike Quest, Reed Walker, Ryan Redfield. Some of these people I did not recognise. Match was decent. It's a scramble. It was short. I'm very, very thankful for short openers. I hate long openers. Just make them short. This match was not even 6 minutes. A short opener is a good opener. Gregory Iron won, retained the title. Good fucking times. Good to see Brandon Kirk and Lucky. Always happy to see both those guys anywhere. Next match, another multi-man match. There's an increase in a lot of multi-man matches throughout these shows. Well, maybe not so much throughout these shows, but on this show, it certainly seemed that way. It went in. Bam Sullivan, Darren Hardway, Edward Hawkins and Kit Osborne beat Aidan Beale, Dan O'Hare, Frankie Picard and Mouse. I like the majority of these guys. Some of these guys I haven't seen. I do keep up to date with H2O, sparingly, usually, every so often, just because there's so much fucking deathmatch shit, and obviously H2O is a sort of plethora of everything, whereas I like one particular style of wrestling. But H2O is very, very good. Me liking one particular style is probably wrong for myself. I do like strong style, I do like fluffy shit, I do like wrestling, technical wrestling, but I like deathmatches majority. But that match was alright. Bam Sullivan won, which is good for him. He just kind of ran in and snuck in the pin. I think he stole it from one of his tag team partners. It was alright. Then the next match, tag team match, Dylan McKay and Steve Sanders defeated Billy Starks and Marcus Mathers. Marcus Mathers and Billy Starks are both very, very, very talented young individuals. And Dylan McKay and Steve Sanders are both very good as well. Not much to say about the match. It was basically Marcus Mathers being beaten down by the two teams, and then eventually the hot tag and stuff like that. Decent match. Then we got probably one of the better matches of the night. Nolan Edward beat Drew Blood. Nolan Edward now's like, since he's not doing death matches or anything anymore, lots more flips, lots more moonsaults, lots more dives. Fantastic. And then I'm sure at the end, obviously it's very, very good to see Drew Blood, who's a fucking legend in wrestling, especially in the East Coast. I think they like both ran at each other and both hit heads with each other, and I think Nolan just managed to cover him for the win. Then we had a 4-way #1 contenders match for the Danny Havoc Hardcore title. Declan Grant, Gigi Everson, Jeff Cannibal, Cade Lothbrok, who is the former Stockade, still won't be used for me to say his new name. I'm just used to calling him Stockade. Love Stockade, he's fucking great. Sorry, not Stockade. Cade Lothbrok. This match was good. Declan Grant won. 6 shots by Jeff Cannibal doing that thing where he sort of flips people over his head off the ropes onto Lothbrok through 2 fucking chairs. There was chairs, there was trash can lids, there was cinder blocks. Good match. Then we got my personal favourite match of the night, which was 440, the Bev, love fucking Bobby Beverly and Eric Ryan, the 2-time back-to-back King of the Deathmatch champion, defeated Jimmy Lyon and Mickey Knuckles, which was fucking awesome. There was a bit where Bev hit fucking Lyon in the head with a chair and he had a fucking huge nasty fucking cut over his eye. But this match was just sick, disgusting, and it was pretty elementary, and the Bev and Eric Ryan, the Young Studs, won and retained their tag team titles. Then, following this, we had another 440 member, Atticus Kogar, the current H2O Danny had. Then we had Atticus Kogar defending his Danny Havoc Hardcore Championship against Kennedy Copeland. Great match. Skewers, ladders, not so much violence in this show. For me, it seems strange, this is just because I'm a mark for Deathmatch Wrestling, when they have these hardcore matches and shows where they know they can use light tubes and glass and barbed wire and they choose not to. I suppose it's showing restraint to the company. Anyway, Atticus Kogar beat Kennedy Copeland. There was headlock drivers and skewers in people's heads and ladders and kryptonite crunches through chairs and all sorts of shit. Kennedy Copeland did amazing. Very proud of her for doing so well in that match. She's awesome. Her and Sawyer Rep both do fucking really good for women's deathmatch wrestling, for women's wrestling, for wrestling. They're both awesome. Then we had my boy Tony Deppen was defeated by Austin Luke. My God, Austin Luke getting a little push, who is also a very talented wrestler, mind you. Beat Tony Deppen, and good match. I just wanted to see Tony Deppen win, unfortunately. And then we moved on to our main event of the evening. And the main event, we saw a casket match between Ricky Shane Page and G Raver for the H2O title. Decent match, flips and dives, and G Raver, when he does his sort of like senton to the outside, my God, it always looks like he's going to fucking land his head right on the fucking floor. Good match, the casket match. The refs are always lifting up the casket. I don't like that. I mean, I know it's a big casket, I'd rather the wrestlers did it, but anyway. We get to Ricky Shane Page nearly get put in. I'm sure G Raver's on the side. Who pops up out the fucking coffin? It's only Eddie Only. One of the best fucking, one of my favourite characters, one of my favourite wrestlers of all of independent wrestling, all of wrestling. And he hits dressed like the fucking Sandman. He's got the American flag fucking like pants on. He smashes G Raver in the head with a Singapore cane. G Raver gets put in the coffin. H2O's back. Well, H2O, 440. Eddie Only. It was just a beautiful moment to see the crowd chanting for Eddie and everything. He's been away for so long, so happy he's back. And then FTW, which is Ron Mathis' led sort of faction of people, came out and challenged them to the next show, which I believe is so, which this will lead to August 28th, Street Justice at the H2O Wrestling Centre. And I will just find the matches for that right now, because we have several of them. There's a lot of fucking wrestling these days. This is a Street Justice. We have, it's WTF, and I am unsure of who the two guys are. One of them is Ron Mathis, and he's leading them out against Ricky Shane Page, the Bev, and Eric Ryan. And we've also got another match announced for that show. We've got lots of matches announced. Will I just go through them all to save everybody the hassle if they needn't do that match? Yes, well, hey ho. Right, so, what do we have? We have got Marcus Mathers against Atticus Kogar for the Danny Havoc Hardcore title. We've got Everson and Sanders against Luke and Redfield. We've got Reed Walker against Connor Claxton. Good to see Claxton back. We have got a number one contenders tag team match. Ross and Bradley versus Payne and Valen. Fucking hell. Good to see Mitch Valen back. Mouse and Ball and the Grimy Bastards, which is Declan Grant and Devin Moore. And we have also got Tatiana against Jenny Rose. I'm unfamiliar with both those women, but that sounds like a decent enough show. Now, the next show I watched was IWA Mid-South's King of the Deathmatches Night 1. My fucking God, this 24-man elimination deathmatch tournament Where are we? So, we had first round match. Now, I love both these guys, but it did go a bit long. It was a Texas bull rope death match with like barbed wire in the corners and stuff. Mance Warner beat Bobby Beverly. Bobby Beverly gave it his all, but he got beaten by the Southern Psychopath in a very, very decent match. A very long match for an opener, as I've said before, but a very, very decent match. Then, we moved on to kitchen sink related thing, death match. RSP against Bam Sullivan, and motherfucking Bam Sullivan beat RSP. RSP got beat the night after as well. RSP putting over these young talent. Good match. Bam Sullivan won, so I mean, good for fucking Bam Sullivan. I love Bam Sullivan. Next match, we got one of my favourite matches of night one. Schlack beat Insane Lane in a World Series of Glass, which was basically Lighttube log cabins. You had to put them through so many. I think it was four out of 7. I think. Good to see Insane Lane. They beat the fuck out of each other. There was a big leg drop from Schlack off the thing, and it was great. Really, really good. It's difficult to even. There were so many death matches like in a row and so much wrestling for all these different shows. These reviews are just very short. Then we got arguably one of the better matches of night one as well. Logan James, who's a man who's been around IWA Mid-South for a very long time. I've seen very lot of him, and he was against Rebecca Payne, who won, I believe, the Queen of the Death matches in 2008, maybe. This was a good match, home run derby. Rebecca Payne got hit in the face, so I think it was a Lighttube like bat, and her face was a fucking crimson mask. It was fucking scary looking. It was awesome. But Logan James won, much to the dismay of the crowd, but it was fucking good. And then we got another match. It was awesome. A match which is a rematch of TOS 5. Put these two guys together, put some fucking glass in the ring. You know you're going to get a good match. Eric Ryan against Shane Mercer. Eric Ryan wins. As I've said before, he won King of the Death matches. Just so much like ingenuity with the fucking glass, and just Eric Ryan holding it, and fucking Shane Mercer smashes his little sort of like mace thing through the glass and everything. It was just, it was awesome. It was good to see both those guys. I'd rather see Shane Mercer go slightly further in the tournament, but he's against Eric Ryan, he's not gonna. Then we had a Taipei deathmatch, double hell thing match. There's just all these stipulations. NDC beat Jake Christ. It was good. There was a bit where Jake Christ was going to do his sort of now you shall meet your maker thing, and he had his kendo stick and he was going to fucking smack Neil Diamond Cutter in the back. Neil Diamond Cutter got out of it. I'm sure he gave him a cutter, and he won with a Canadian destroyer into this pool of carpet strips and stuff. Before I go into the next match, NDC won. Just say that the building that IWA was running in, like the last building they were running in, looks like a massive big converted barn. Just the backgrounds just look like the background of the walls. This is a very nitpicky thing. Looks like an unfinished building. It looks like they've not finished building it. It looked the exact same in the place where they had the last King of the Death matches before they got chucked out because of that fire incident. But I mean, there's a decent crowd. I'm pretty sure it was saying capacity 300 people, which is very, very good for an IWA Mid-South show. Anyway, I digress, as I often do. We had Lighttube Bundles Call of the Wind. I can't remember what the Call of the Wind stipulation was, but Big Scare Dan O'Hare's back, and he was against Atticus Kogar. Decent match. I cannot remember what the finish was. There was lots of light tubes, lots of blood. But Atticus Kogar won, defeating Dan O'Hare. Then we had a very, very good match, I thought, between Jeff Cannibal and Otis Kogar. This was You've Got Me Around Pins and Needles. There was needles and pins on these styrofoam boards. Otis Kogar had his switchblade thing out, and my god, it was a really, really good match actually for both these two massive big guys. Otis won. Otis beat Jeff Cannibal, which I was quite shocked at, but good for him, he deserves it. He has now got all his t-shirts are now on Deathmatch Worldwide, so fucking check that shit out, people. And then in the next match we had the VIP Dale fucking Patricks against Aero Boy in Death from Above, which is basically ladders. There's a box of like gusset plates that fell off before the match even started. All the ladders look really, really like old and shitty, which adds to like the IWA like Mid-South vibe. Like they're all just look like so horrible. Like when you see ladders in wrestling, you usually expect them to be like brand new, swanky, crisp, fresh out the packaging, like ladders, but they all just looked like they were around since like the 80s, and they were all dusty and dirty, and it was good though. There was a big swanton bomb off the top from Aero Boy onto 2 ladders on top of Dale Patrick's, and Aero Boy won. Aero Boy beat Dale Patrick's, which I was quite surprised at. But I mean, he's not going to come all the way from fucking Mexico to come up just to lose. Then we had the match everybody wanted to see. John Wayne Murdoch, the motherfucking Duke, the American Deathmatch champion, beat Ian Rotten in a match. It was very, very heartfelt to see Ian Rotten come out and everybody bow down to him and clap for him. And light tubes. John Wayne Murdoch came out with a walker with light tubes and carpet strips on it and pretended he was like an old man, smashed over fucking Ian's head. It was just basically John Wayne Murdoch more or less beating the shit out of Ian Rotten for 10 minutes. And the final spot, there was a big box of light tubes. John Wayne Murdoch gave Ian Rotten like a suplex / brainbuster right into the box of all the fucking light tubes. Sick fucking bump. Sick fucking bump. And afterwards Ian Rotten did a speech, as he's known to do, and he basically said this is, he's basically, the way he was saying it, this is like his retirement match, whatever. Saying he wouldn't have wanted to go out with anybody else aside for John Wayne Murdoch. I mean, aside from Axel Rotten. It was quite heartfelt, it was really good to see Ian. John Wayne Murdoch just destroyed him. Decent match, it's what everybody wanted to see. Then we got a match that I remember very, very little about. There was doors with light tubes on one, gusset plates on one, carpet strips on one. Orenvite against Casanova Valentine. Decent match, good to see. I'd rather see Casanova go further, but Orenvite wins. Can't remember much about that match. And then we got the main event, electrifying death match. Light bulbs, electrified light bulbs, bug zapper things. They got put over. Kevin Giza got destroyed with one of them. Masada gave him a sick fucking powerbomb. Masada's powerbombs are so fucking scary. Kevin Giza did it. There was like lit light tubes. Kevin Giza was really selling it really well for being like really hot. It was like I mean they might have been like that fucking hot. Jesus Christ. Went to run. Masada went to give him a sort of powerbomb, like side slam thing, and gave him a DDT right through the electrified light bulbs. But in the end, Masada, of course, beat Kevin Giza to end night 1 of King of the Death matches. So many death matches, so many people. The crowd was fucking hot the whole night. Very good to see IWA get so many people. They could have had more if they'd wanted. I'm sure Ian or someone said that like 300 was as many as they were going to have. But good night, good fucking shit. Now on to Prince of the Death matches. Now, thankfully, IWA Mid-South put out Prince of the Death matches and King of the Death matches all in like one DVD type thing. So when you bought the MP4, like I do, I don't really buy DVDs or Blu-rays. I just buy the MP4s. You got King and Prince of the Death matches all together for $30, which is very, very fucking good. So we will get into it. Tyler Matrix beat a guy called Billy Tipton. I didn't watch this because there was too much wrestling to watch. I don't really care about normal mainstream wrestling. Tyler Matrix is alright, he's against Ricky Shane Page on night 2. Anyway, Jack Griffin defeats Drake Hunter in a toy barefoot Legos death match. Oh, my cat's arrived. Hello, Nelly. This was a really good match. Both these guys did really, really well. For not seeing very, very much. That Jack Griffin's very, very good. They were just fucking sick fucking bumps. They were barefoot for the whole thing, just wandering around as if it meant nothing in these Legos. It was really very impressed with both those young guys. Then we got the Phoenix Kid, defeated Lord Crew. What the fuck? Lord Crew should have fucking won that fucking match. Not the best match, but Lord Crew should have fucking won because he's a fucking better wrestler. Anyway, then we got Dre Parker, who is a guy I'm not very familiar with, defeats Jace Carr, light tube bun. There was like light tubes over the ropes and stuff. This match was alright. Good to see the young guys. They're both very like unfamiliar with deathmatch wrestling. Supposedly, according to the commentary, pretty good. Decent match, quite a long match as well. Then we had probably the best match of the first round, which was the Carver against Remington Roar. The Carver's so fucking cool. Came out with his big vest on with all the faces on it, dragging it with an axe. It's just this look so fucking cool, basically like Leatherface. Remington roared a machete. There was like an axe against a machete. It was fucking really, really good. This is a fans bring the weapons match. Oh, my cat's sitting on me now. She's a good cat. She likes deathmatch wrestling, don't you, Nene? Good girl. Then we moved on. I'm thankful there wasn't another match to interrupt the flow of the death matches in this one. See, when you go to a deathmatch show, no one gives a fuck about the non-death matches. They just don't, most of the time. Unless it's ICW No Holds Barred, where they actually have people like, you know, Justin Kyle and Calvin Tankman and things like that. Other than that, most people don't really give a shit. And then we got the Carver against Phoenix Kid, unlucky staple gun match. This match was very, very short. Carver just destroyed, it basically had to staple so many, I think it was 7 or 13, or I'm sure it was 7 you had to staple to the person's head. The Carver did that very, very quickly, stapled them all to the Phoenix Kid's head, unceremoniously. Good match, good, it was short. Then we got Jack Griffin beat Dre Parker in a Home Run Derby Deathmatch. Another short match, very, very good match though. And then we got the main event. Finals Glass Madness. Carver defeats Jack Griffin. The main spot of this one was the Carver gave him a fucking curb stomp with light tubes to his fucking face onto a skateboard covered in barbed wire and won the match. It was disgusting. It was reminiscent of fucking Ravage, I believe. Was it Ravage? What was the name of that tag team? There was 2 guys with like sort of painted faces. Ravage was one of them. They were against Danny Havoc in the hardcore battle royal thing at TOD4. He jumps off the ropes and like fucking kicks light tubes like right to the back of his head. It's reminiscent of that, just the force he fucking kicked him down at. Fucking disgusting. And your Prince of the Death matches is the Carver. And then we move on to King of the Death matches, night 2. Yeah, but I can see you. I can see you. Tyler Matrix beat Ricky Shane Page for the IWA Mid-South World Heavyweight Championship. What the fuck? How's RSP losing these matches? What's going on? Anyway, move on. We had one of my favourite matches. Chains, Pains and Canes deathmatch. I don't remember there being any Canes. Panes of Glass and Chains in the Corners deathmatch. Masada, Mance and Schlack was awesome. Mance got fucking suplexed through a big sheet of glass. There's a pane of glass that wouldn't fucking break. Crowd chanting Japanese glass. Then we had there was a big fucking sheet of glass and a chair thrown through it. I'm sure that was Schlack and Mance were underneath it. Sodomizer, I'm sure Mance went out first and then Schlack went out second. Sodomizer is always awesome to see. It's a beautiful Death Valley drive. It looks so fucking snug. Then we got the second round match. Aeroboy defeats Bam Sullivan and Logan James. Nets, light tubes. There was like barbed wire nets on barbed wire boards on little wooden blocks and things. This match was alright. Logan James did a big flip outside and basically landed through the barbed wire net on top of both the guys. Aeroboy wins. Aeroboy going the distance, you would think, in this tournament. Then we got a 3-way match and this was awesome. I felt very, very bad for Otis Kogar in this match though. Get right, go over there. It was Otis Kogar, John Wayne Murdoch and Orton Vite. Obviously Orton Vite and John Wayne Murdoch have got a lot of history. And ICW No Holds Barred all over the place. Otis Kogar got eliminated unceremoniously first. Then the match went to high gear. They could have had Otis there. They could have had Otis taking 500 tubes. The ring crew brought out all these light tubes and things and they were beating the shit out of each other with light tubes. It went on and on and on and light tubes and light tubes and light tubes and light tubes. It was fucking great. The crowd was fucking loving it. I was fucking loving it and watching it. It was awesome. And then, in an upset that I did not expect, Orton Vite beat the Duke. Orton Vite goes on to the semi-finals. Then we got a match that was unfair to my boy Neil Diamond Cutter. It was Neil Diamond Cutter, Eric Ryan and Atticus Kogar. Neil Diamond Cutter held his own against the 2-4-4-0, but he was defeated. And then we got Eric Ryan, Atticus Kogar, and you're like, whoa, like is one of them going to lay down for everyone? No, but they kick the fuck at each other. In very, very good fashion, but eventually Eric Ryan got the snuff stomp in, but Ricky Shane Page threw the fucking towel in to get Atticus eliminated. So RSP saves Atticus, but also did Atticus want that to happen because he could have went further, he could have got out the snuff stomp. No one gets out the snuff stomp, mind you. So that was interesting. So 4-4-0 came out, the Bev was out at the same time with RSP. So he basically cost Atticus Kogar the match. Nothing really much said about that. The seeds being planted. I assume Atticus maybe at some point might turn on his master and bite the hand that feeds. Anyway, then we got the semi-finals. Orton Vite against Aeroboy in an absolutely shredded death match. I cannot remember much about this one. I remember it being alright. I remember what happened in this. I can't even go into it because I can't remember. Then Eric Ryan defeats Masada in a Built to Destroy deathmatch. Another fucking great match. It's Eric Ryan and Masada. So the last time they faced each other one-on-one was Planet Death. Great fucking match. Eric Ryan wins. Ornvite wins your finals. Ornvite, Eric Ryan. But before we got that, we got a match that I'm not going to say that I didn't fast forward through a lot of it. Deathmatch losers bracket spam bring the weapons. Casanova, Dan O'Hare, Insane Lane, Jeff Cannibal and Kevin Giza beat the Bev, Dale Patricks, Jail Chris, Rebecca Payne and Shane Mercer. A lot of this was all around, centered around Giza and... Where are we? Giza and Dale Patricks are opposing teams. They are the ICW Mid-South Tag Team Champions. A lot of stuff to that. A lot of this match was based around Jake Crist and how he's a cunt and he's the biggest heel in IWA and all this stuff. Anyway, that's not relevant. Anyway, we get to the main event. No rope, barbed wire. One side was barbed wire with light tubes. One side was barbed wire. One other side was no ropes. The other side was no ropes. There was door, pane of glass, chairs, House of Horrors set up with the light tubes over the ring. Eric Ryan or Invite. Awesome, awesome fucking match. They're just blasting each other with light tubes, beating the shit at each other. Just scary fucking light tube shots. There was a disgusting fucking DVD to the outside from Eric Ryan, off through the ring, off the fucking... My god, I'm so tired for all these death matches. But I needed it in my fucking veins after not watching it for like 2 weeks. From the ring to the floor, through the glass, it's fucking disgusting. Eric Ryan wins though. Eric Ryan fucking wins. That there was a bit where like Ricky Shane Page comes in and they think he's Invite run in and they're distracting the referee. All this bullshit. Eric Ryan fucking wins and he is now back to back, 2-time IWA Mid-South King of the fucking death matches. And afterwards he gets the fucking mic, says he's the best in the fucking world, which he is. He's one of the top fucking 5 deathmatch wrestlers. He always gets left out in these things. Oh, oh, Nick Gage, oh, blah, blah, Junkie Sai, all this. And then he fucking called out fucking Takeda. So Cologne's called out Takeda. Eric Ryan's called out Takeda. John Wayne Murdoch's called out Takeda. Just have Takeda come here for a fucking month. Just wrestle these motherfuckers. And my man is fucking Masashi Takeda. He's one of my top 4 deathmatch wrestlers of all time. Him, Kasai, Danny Havoc and Nick Gage. So that was kind of the death matches. Sort of quick review. It was very, very good. It was a long couple of shows. I mean, to be fair, most people weren't watching them as like I was after watching like 8 shows all back to back to back to back to back. But I really, really enjoyed it. Very happy for Eric Ryan. Or Invite did amazing. Everybody did amazing. I wouldn't say there was a bad match per se, aside from that like big elimination thing, just because it went quite long. Anyway, we will move on now. We get to the 7th of August. GCW's No Signal in the fucking hills at the Ukrainian Culture Centre. That building's so fucking cool looking. The crowd was fucking huge. The crowd was packed. We also had fucking Sean Waltman on commentary for some matches, including the main event. Just very, very strange to see Sean Waltman, fucking X-Pac, one of my favourite wrestlers as a kid, call a fucking Nick Gage match with Effie. Like, bizarre. Anyway. AJ Gray beat Lee Moriarty in a first round match. Good match. AJ Gray went to... I'm sure he was out with B-Boy. Came out with him. He did a lariat. And then he could have pinned him, but he got off him. Then he did another big lariat. Then Jimmy Lloyd beats ASF, which was a good match. The crowd was fucking hot for it. Dives and flips and Spanish flies and all sorts of shit. I don't think I've seen ASF wrestle before. That match was alright. Then we got a match, I think this is the first one Sean Moult was in commentary for with Kim Gill. Starboy Charlie beat Chris Dickinson in a great match, better than the match that they had at Zombie Walk. I believe that's when their last match was. And after the match, Starboy Charlie's in the ring, Chris Dickinson bows down to him. Very, very, very big ascent of rise to Starboy Charlie, who's only fucking like 18. And there's another guy on this fucking card who's like 16. I was like, what the fuck? It's like half my age wrestling on a fucking massive GCW show. Anyway, Then we got Ninja Mac against Dante Leon, probably one of the better matches the entire night. Both these guys are flippy, mad, flippy, jumping bean flips and dives. There's a cool bit where they were out in the crowd. There's like these little sort of doorway, window, archway things. Ninja Mac went inside it and did a big fucking moonsault out onto Dante Leon and all the ring crew guys. It was cool. I can't remember what was the final spot. I believe Ninja Mac got his mask took off. It was where Ninja Mac went and done like a sort of 630 spinning Phoenix splash, and Dante Leon like caught him in like a power bomb and everything. It was just, both these guys are so fucking good. There's the big triple backflip to the moonsault to the outside. It's just insane how energetic and how athletic they are. It's madness. And I thought with that big power bomb spot that Dante Leon was going to win, but no, Ninja Mac won. I can't remember what he won with. But he did win with his mask off. And then we got a very interesting match. Second Gear crew defending their tag team titles against Bussy, Ali Catch and Effie. This was your usual. Obviously we have seen Masato Tanaka against Matthew Justice. Imagine a match between Matthew Justice and Mike Awesome. Just picture that in your head with chairs. How fucking good that would be. Anyway, Second Gear crew won. But there was a bit where Effie and Ali Catch taped up Mance Warner and Matthew Justice, and the Matthew Justice was sort of taped to the side like Raven was at the handcuff to that cage with Tommy Dreamer. Taped to the sides. Ali Catch got a fucking knife out and like slashed across his fucking chest and cut him open. I was like, what the fuck's going on? I thought they were all pals. And then Mance Warner was fucking taped to his hands and feet and got fucking chair shotted right to the fucking head. Lots of nasty chair shots to the head. Good match though, just the bit with the knife was just unexpected. I was like, what the fuck? Why does she hate him so much? Slashing his chest, a lot of people are moaning about it online. Who gives a fuck? They're obviously both agreeable to it. They're not doing it for a hot dog and a handshake in fucking GCW, are they? Anyway, Second Gear crew won. Then we get the obligatory 6-man scramble. The Grim Reaper, Eli Everfly, very good to see him back, I like Eli. Jack Cartwheel, Little Cholo, who's a legend on the West Coast. Midas Crew and Nick Wayne. I'm sure Nick Wayne was the guy who's like 16 years old and he was fucking really good. Grim Reaper wins, I'm sure, with his patented sort of top rope side slam thing. He was smoking a big fucking blunt. Dive to the outside with his blunt in his mouth, lots of dives. It's a scramble, dives and flips and cartwheels and backflips, and my god, there's so many scrambles. There's a scramble match like every GCW show and they're all very, very similar, but they're all very, very good. It's difficult to even like set them apart from each other. Then we got Jordan Oliver against Treehouse Lee, and usually I'm not a fan of, I like Jordan Oliver, I like him in certain situations, but usually I'm not a fan of Jordan Oliver's matches, because a lot of them are very, very like slow-paced, technical wrestling, which is obviously not my cup of tea. Oh yeah, by the way, Jordan, any Masters of Pain t-shirt that I finally got. Thanks ICW East Coast. I did pay for it, by the way. When I say thanks, I mean thanks for fucking sending it all the way to the horrible fucking United Kingdom. Anyway, not as bad as Afghanistan though, is it? Anyway, we go to Treehouse Lee, who's a guy I know from No Peace Underground, was against Jordan Oliver in this match. And it was really fucking good. Treehouse Lee's doing fucking big dive and flipping, like, it was awesome. Treehouse Lee's fucking really, really good. Got a really good showing, but I mean, Jordan Oliver beat him. I think he caught him with like a cutter and then caught him with another cutter and ended it, but Treehouse Lee should be in GCW a lot more often. Then we got our semi-main event. As 4-4, the team of Atticus fucking Kogar and RSP defeated Joey Janela and Marco Stunt. This match was great. Ricky Shane Page did a big spinning thing to Marco's Stunt, the little man flying around, landing on the ground. They were out in the crowd. RSP threw Marco's Stunt to fucking Ricky Shane Page in the crowd. Headlock drivers. They're both RSP and Atticus both put skewers in Joey Janela and thingies Marco Stunt's head. It was a good match, and 4-4 won, surprisingly, which was good. And then we got our main event. Nick Gage, Deathmatch, barbed wire boards, Lighttube bundles against Dark Sheik, who Effie was on commentary for this. I do not watch Hood Slam, maybe I should start. I'm aware of Dark Sheik from No Peace Underground, and from some other, I'm sure she was at like Effie's Big U Brunch and stuff like that. This match was great. Sean Waltman on commentary with this with Effie. Nick Gage blasting Dark Sheik with fucking light tubes, beating the fuck out of her with the pizza cutter and everything. The crowd all got their phones, everybody's going fucking crazy. It's like so weird to see all this now, the Nick Gage, all the publicity and all like the popularity he's got. Like, you remember he was doing like the same thing like back in like 2007, 2008 in CCW, and like they could barely even like sell out a crowd and stuff. It's mental how far things have come for deathmatch wrestling. We would get like one show. We got like one show a month for like CCW for deathmatch wrestling, and occasionally ICW Mid-South would run. That was it. Now we've got fucking death matches every fucking weekend, all weekend, fucking double headers, triple headers. It's insane. Anyway, we got a move that people were saying was a botch, but it's not a fucking botch. Nick Gage does this all the time, I'll have you know. Where he gave Dark Sheik a fall-away slam, release fall-away slam, fell back from the fucking top rope to the outside of the ring through like a barbed wire board. Disgusting move. And then finally the match ended. Very long, competitive match. There's a bit of Nick Gage got his fucking cock stapled with a staple gun. We got the trifecta. 2 pile drivers, 1 power bomb, 1, 2, 3. Nick Gage fucking won. Nick Gage did his own ring entrance because MLJ wasn't there for some reason. And we were thinking, even Effie was saying we were going to get a Nick Gage promo at the end, but Nick Gage left the ring. Great fucking match, great showing for Dark Sheik. She did fucking awesome against the King. And hopefully we'll get to see her back in GCW. I'm sure she is coming back for the next time they're in Las Vegas, which is a show that I will cover after I've done these fucking reviews. Now, we will go to August 13th, ICW's The Pit in San Antonio, Texas. They built a little pit, they had little ropes, people had cowboy hats on, Larry Legend had a cowboy hat on, Ron Nimi had a fucking cowboy hat on, or invited a cowboy hat on. They were in Texas for the Pit 3, and it was fucking great. So, we've got these, my god, there's so many shows. I watched like all these shows like back to back. I did manage to catch this one live. So, Eric Ryan against Akira. Now, first of all, I'm not saying it's the fault of the venue. I'm not saying it's the fault of IWTV, and I'm certainly not saying it's the fault of ICW No Holds Barred. But the first half hour was a glitchy, non-existent mess on IWTV. Cut in, wouldn't start for 15 minutes. Eric Ryan and Akira, which is a match I was looking forward to, started in progress. We didn't get the usual Danny DeManto opening thing. Then after that match, Akira was sitting in the ring on a chair. After a good match, Eric Ryan won with the snuff stomp, I believe. And then the show was off again for like 20 minutes. So the first half hour was just a glitchy mess on IWTV, kept getting the no signal thing. Then finally it came back. There was no internet in the venue or something, and finally it came back. Danny DeManto brought us all back up. You didn't miss anything. Then they started the show off properly. Justin Kyle beat Brian Keith. I've never seen Brian Keith wrestle before. He was really good. Justin Kyle and him were really fucking kicking the fuck at each other, punching the shit out of each other, slams and everything. Justin Kyle giving the fingers to the crowd and everything. All the Texas crowd were really behind their boys. Brian Keith, Aaron Mercer, Masada, etc. Really good. Great Scott as well. Really good match. Justin Kyle won. Brian Keith kept kicking out though. Kept fucking kicking out. It was a good match though. Then we got one of my favourite matches. Was of a guy I'd never seen before. Great Scott, Texas regular, and heavy metal and stuff, things like that. Was beaten by Dale Patricks, but this match was fucking awesome. Great Scott. There's like bats and everything. There's no light tubes for the pit, which was bizarre considering how many light tubes we saw at No Peace Underground later on that night. Anyway, beggars can't be choosers, I guess. But Great Scott put on a fucking great performance. There was like barbed wire boards, carpet strips, fucking bats, like explosive fucking the firecracker bats and everything. Great Scott did amazing. I want to see fucking more of him. He was there the next night with Aaron Mercer in NHB 17. Was it 17? Yes, it was 17. I had to even fucking check that poster to remember how many fucking NHBs there's been. Watch that many of them. Then we got Ornvite against Brandon Kirk. Ornvite had a cowboy hat on because he's in Texas, you see. Brandon Kirk with Casey, obviously. This match was decent. There were obviously the big boards in the corner saying fuck the Kirks and things like that. Brandon Kirk beating the fuck out of him. Brandon Kirk's offense is so fucking good. I love his little like sneaky pile driver and his lariat and everything. I love his offense. Then there was like a board of knives the Orenvite got dropped on. There was a big fucking like gash on his wrist. He was fine though. He was fine. That match was good. Orenvite wins, unfortunately. I'd rather Brandon Kirk won. I'd rather Brandon Kirk won all the time. Then we got a match that featured a lot of fucking crowd brawling and everything. This was probably the first match to do this. The crowd was like all situated at one side, and then there was crowd somewhere, and then Struggles and Nimi are at the other side. But most of the crowd were all on this one side of the bar. So somebody like wrote like, "Oh, why is the crowd so small?" But then they showed a picture of like the sort of like hard cam picture of the ring. All the crowd was fucking there. The crowd was fucking packed, and they were fucking heavy and loud. Schlack and Sato-Jim were brawling into the crowd. They were beating the fuck at each other. Schlack eventually wins, beating Sato-Jim. Great match. Schlack gets fucking booked very, very well in ICW No Holds Barred. Like majority of other people in ICW No Holds Barred, Schlack needs to get booked. Better and in general for fucking GCW, because he's fucking Schlack. Anyway, then we get into the match everybody wants to fucking see. Masada, Neil Diamond Cutter. Masada beat the fuck out of Neil Diamond Cutter. The sick fucking power bombs, Death Valley drivers, just beating the shit out, hammering skewers into Neil's head. Neil keeps getting back up, getting back up, getting back up. It was fucking awesome. What a match. First time ever meeting as well, which is insane to think how long both those guys have been wrestling and in the same sort of circles they've been. And it was finally a Masodomizer on a chair that looked fucking disgusting. Masada wins. Neil gets his moment. Danny DeManto comes out, puts over Neil huge, basically saying you're a fucking legend. You did this. Thanks to all the promoters who never gave you a chance, because I'm giving you the chance that you deserve. Neil Diamond Cutter's fucking amazing, and he deserves to be fucking everywhere. And he got that time in ICW No Holds Barred, and I want to see him the next American Deathmatch champion, because he fucking deserves it, because he's great. Anyway, and into our main event, John Wayne Murdoch against Aaron Mercer. This match was fucking violent. Gusset plates, ladders, boards, tables, doors, all sorts of shit. There's a bit when they're out in the crowd, John Wayne Murdoch fucking threw a gusset plate and it fucking landed on his back and stuck in, which was fucking cool. John Wayne Murdoch, I think, wins with his patented brainbuster slam thing onto lots and lots of doors. This was really, really good. Aaron Mercer had John Wayne Murdoch on the run for a lot of this match, but it was fucking great. Your first ICW No Holds Barred show in Texas, the Pit 3 was great. Loved the setup, crowd was fucking hot. All the Texas guys fucking brought their shit. And Masada Neil Diamond Cutter, one of the best matches all year so far. Then, that same night that the Pit was on, at the 502 bar, we removed the little rope Texas setup and we replaced that with guardrails and fucking light tubes for No Peace Underground's The Act of Annihilation. This show was fucking great. I don't understand why they couldn't have used light tubes when they used so fucking many for this. Anyway, let's get fucking into it. Colby Carino defeats Dante Leon in a really, really good match. They thumbtacked bats and they were just basically just beating the shit out of each other. They didn't use any glass. I cannot remember how Colby Carino won, but apparently he's going to be wrestling his dad in a couple of weeks. Steve Carino, Colby Carino, that'd be fucking awesome. The fucking old school Steve Carino is like one of my favourite fucking wrestlers of all time, the king of fucking old school. I loved it. One of my favourite ever wrestling events. This is going to sound strange. It was November to Remember 2000 when he won the belt in the Double Jeopardy match with Jerry Lynn, Sandman and Just Incredible. I loved it when he won the title. I loved Steve Carino. I only held it for like a month or two before he got stolen with the Sandman and everything, but I love Steve Carino. So Colby Carino is fucking good. I love his dad. I can't wait for that fucking match. This match was fucking great. Dante Leon was on a ladder, I believe, at one point. Anyway, move on to a match that was fucking great as well. Paro, Akira, Orenvite in a three-way, and it was basically Paro's a big fucking guy. They're both having to double team up against Paro because he's so fucking big. But the Paro is slammed through guardrails, suplexed through guardrails by both of them, thrown through doors and boards, and hit with fucking light tubes. And then eventually, Paro was down. Orenvite and Akira are fucking hearing weird noises. Anyway, or inviting Akira, or like beating the fuck at each other now, and then eventually Pyro gets up and destroyed Akira, fucking destroyed him, throwing him around, and then gave him the Greetings Fazbear Park and won. Pyro wins, and then after the match challenges Eric Ryan to a match at Rituals, which is the next NOP show, which is actually this Friday, which will probably be tomorrow by the time this all gets edited. And then Eric Ryan came out and stood on a chair and accepted his challenge because Pyro's so tall. So Pyro against Eric Ryan on a fucking death match. I'm sure it's a dog collar match. That'll be fucking good. Then we got Brian Keith was back for another match against Zicky Dice. I like Zicky Dice. This match was fucking good. There's lots of weird Zicky Dice spots where he's pulling the sort of streamer things out of his mouth and everything. And he actually won. He actually won. He actually beat fucking Brian Keith, and then he ran away, gave the crowd the finger and everything. The match was good, quite short. Then we got an impromptu match. Jeff Gant came out and basically set a challenge to anybody. Jimmy Lloyd fucking came out and just beat the shit out of Jeff Gant with light tubes and everything, and gave him a sort of razor's edge through like 2 guardrails were set up, door in the middle, light tubes on top, razor's edge, blasting him with light tubes, blasting him with light tubes. The match only went about 3 minutes, but it was good. Good to see Jimmy Lloyd. Jeff Gant got the shit kicked out of him. Good showing for him still. Then we got my favourite match between 2 of my favourite wrestlers in the company, Neil Diamond Cutter and Sawyer Wreck. Sawyer Wreck kicked the shit out of Neil, launching him through things. Neil's running at her, throwing through a board, running at her, throwing through a board. You hear any noises in the background, by the way? It's my arsehole downstairs neighbours are doing yet more building work on their 1-bedroom flat. There's just saws, hammering, all the time, just day after day after day, and they've been doing it for like 2 years. It's just a small, like 1-2 bedroom flat. It's like, how much work can you possibly fucking do? Anyway, Sawyer Wreck and Neil Diamond Cutter. Bit where Sawyer Wreck lifts up Neil and like slams him onto a fucking hay bale that was there from the ICW pit show, covered in light tubes. Then she choke slams Neil onto like light tubes onto a door with no give. It's fucking disgusting. Then I thought like Sawyer Wreck could beat Neil Diamond Cutter, and then fucking Brandon Kirk and Casey Kirk came out and attacked Sawyer Wreck and attacked Neil, and Brandon Kirk gave Neil Diamond Cutter one of the fucking sickest fucking chair shots I've ever fucking seen. And then they beat the shit out of both of them. Then they left, they gave each other a big kiss, and then they left, and then I assume we're going to get a tag team match at the next show. Sawyer Wreck and Neil, because they both at the end, it was a no contest. They shook hands and said next time me and you. So probably going to get Sawyer Wreck and Neil Diamond Cutter as a tag team, which is fucking awesome against the Kirks. Can't fucking wait for that. Annoyed that they came out, but still, that chair shot, Jesus fucking Christ. Watch fucking, don't kill Neil Diamond Cutter, please. Anyway, then we got an impromptu ICW, well we knew this match was going to happen. It's Johnny Murdoch against Aero Boy. But Danny DeManto came out, he came out at the start of the show. Larry Legend was the ring announcer. And basically said this match is now for the North American Deathmatch Championship. So Aero Boy against Johnny Murdoch, this was a fucking great match. Gusset plates, fighting in the crowd. There was a spot at the very end. I mean, Aero Boy gave it his all. There was a tiny little part of me thought, fucking hell, Aero Boy could fucking win this shit. They put like a door with gusset plates on it, with a pane of glass on top, and John Wayne Murdoch gave his patented sort of brainbuster thing, and won and retained his title against Aero Boy in a very good match. Aero Boy's mask was so fucking cool looking. I really liked his mask. A lot more so than his mask at King of the Death matches, but it's maybe because I only saw it once. Whereas at King of the Death matches I saw it like 4 times or something. Anyway, we move on to the main event between the Faces of Death, what a name, what a reference, Schlack and fucking Masada against 440, Ryan and Kogar, and this match was fucking awesome. There's light tubes, there was a suplex there at Ryan onto cinder blocks, the Masada's skewering Schlack while Masada's skewering Ryan while Kogar's skewering Schlack at the same time. Because Kogar's got light tubes and Schlack, and then he takes a bit of light tube and starts eating it and he stops doing it. There's like kryptonite crunches, there's fucking, it was an awesome match. Just a match you never sort of expected you'd ever sort of see. Schlack and Masada against Eric Ryan and Akis Kogar, like 4 of the best deathmatch wrestlers, never mind America, in the whole fucking world. And it was just great. Fucking great. 441, and then they scarpered. I'm sure Eric Ryan rolled up Schlack, I think. And then he picked up Akis and they scarpered and ran away. And that was the end of your show. So that was No Peace Underground's Active Annihilation. Great fucking show, catch on IWTV. No Peace Underground's probably my second favourite company from the Olds Bard in Deathmatch Wrestling. And speaking of Olds Bard, we will move on to Volume 17. This was in the Vibes Event Centre, where I think Heavy Metal Wrestling runs their shows. I'm going to lose my fucking voice talking about this fucking show. Oh, and finally, losing my fucking voice. We'll move on to ICW Olds Bard 17. This is on August 14th, the Vibes Event Centre. And we have this this show. The venue was fucking cool, the crowd was fucking hot. There was a guy with a fucking unicorn thing on. It was great. Struggles and Nimi. In first match, we got Aaron Mercer and Great Scott, two guys that had a great show the night before. A very long opener, unsurprisingly, but hey ho, this was really good. We had light tubes for this show. They beat the fuck out of each other. Aaron Mercer beats Great Scott. It was awesome. Just go and fucking watch on IWTV. Highly recommend. Watch Pit 3, Active Annihilation by No Peace Underground and this show. Can't say enough about that. Justin Kyle beats Brandon Kirk in a very good match. Brandon Kirk's had Justin Kyle on the fucking ropes for a while as well. Well, the chains. Then there was a bit where Brandon Kirk was going to curb stomp Justin Kyle into light tubes, but he stopped, and then NWO-esque music hit, and fucking Scott Norton came out to distract Brandon and Casey Kirk, and then Justin Kyle blasted them both with fucking light tubes. Scott Norton was there for like a sign-in type appearance. He came out during that match, which was quite cool. Justin Kyle blasted them both with light tubes, and then gave like Casey Kirk a sort of spinning powerbomby thing to Brandon Kirk through a board, and beat them. But Scott Norton, fucking hell, what the fuck's going on? Then we got a very strange match. Headhunter A couldn't be there for some reason. Travel issues, whatever, who knows. I do not want to speculate. So Neil Diamond Cutter and Satu Jin, which is another strange tag team, defeated Nightmare Freddy. Came out. I was like, what is going on in 2021? Nightmare Freddy and Danny DeManto stepped up to replace Headhunter A. This match was great. Lots of crowd brawling. The very start, DeManto blasted Schlack in the head. Schlack Satu Jin in the head with light bulbs on a crutch. Nightmare Freddy and that they were both just trading outside, hitting each other with chairs, gusset plates. Nightmare Freddy was fucking awesome. And then the final spot, Nightmare Freddy got thrown at the ring, and Satu Jin and Neil Diamond Cutter done this double like splash thing on the light tubes at the Danny and won. Good match, good to see Nightmare Freddy, good for Danny DeManto to step up. He always goes above and beyond if people can't show up and things, just puts himself in there, always ends up getting beat and bleeds. It's fucking great. Then Akira's losing streak continued as he was beaten by Masada in a disgusting display of skewers and having chairs kicked into his head and being sodomizers and fucking everything. Masada destroyed Akira in this match, and Akira got his wish against Masada. I wouldn't say this match was anywhere near as good as Masada Neil Diamond Cutter, but it was fucking good, and Masada wins and Akira loses yet again. The descent into madness for Akira. Then we got one of my favourite matches of the. In fact, these next three matches were all fucking top notch, go out your way to see type shit. Schlack against Scott Summers. Scott Summers hurt his fucking leg when they were outside doing something, and from then on Schlack had him in the ring and beat the shit. Oh, do you hear that sound? Oh, they're having a saw again. Oh, they're sawing some wood. What the fuck are they doing, honestly? It pisses me off. Anyway, Schlack beat the shit out of him with fucking light tubes. Just destroyed Scott Summer with light tubes, just lying in the ring. Light tubes, light tubes, light tubes, light tubes. And I'm sure Schlack eventually wins with like a sort of releasing brainbuster type thing into all the light tubes, into all the crap that's in the ring, and Schlack wins. Scott Summer, thankfully, according to Danny DeManto, wasn't overly hurt. He just hurt his leg, like it wasn't like a break or anything. But Danny DeManto really puts him over after the match. Scott Summers was fucking awesome. It was really good to see him. I've not seen him since like Tournament Survival 1, I think was the last time I saw Scott Summers, which according to Danny DeManto he was rumoured to win that tournament. Then we got a 3-way. Dale Patrick's, Eric Ryan, or Invite for the #1 contendership. This match was fucking great. Just 3 of the best fucking deathmatch wrestlers in the world in a 3-way fucking dance. Loved it, loved it. I was like rooting for Eric Ryan to win, but I knew Dale Patrick was just going to win, and Dale Patrick's did win. He is now the #1 contender for the Deathmatch Championship. And as I go on to speak about the other shows, we will probably find out which show he's going to... He announced it for a show, they got cancelled. But there's a new announcement for ICW NHB, so we'll get into that. And then the main event, John Wayne Murdoch, Sadaka 2. This was insane. It was like a fucking shoot match. Sadaka didn't sell anything. It was just fucking crazy. There was like a suplex brainbuster thing, like from the stage to chairs to light tubes, beating the shit out of each other with light tubes. Sadaka got fucking pushed off the thing, went through this door on top of all these chairs. She just kept getting up, kept getting up, kept getting up. It was just like, when you watch Sadaka wrestle, it makes you think that it's real. It just shows how fucking talented she is, and what a good fucking wrestler she is, and what a good wrestler John Wayne Murdoch is. My god, my brain, there's so much wrestling inside my fucking brain. How good a wrestler they both are, to make you think that about the match, to make you think like, my god, are they not like cooperating? Like, what the fuck? It shows you how fucking good they are, because you don't really get that in fucking wrestling these days. John Wayne Murdoch won with his brainbuster. There was a bit where like, there was all these light tubes where John Wayne Murdoch and Sadaka running, giving the double knees in the corner and everything, but John Wayne Murdoch won. Then Dale Patrick's came out and Sadaka put the belt on John Wayne Murdoch. What a fucking match. Loved Sadaka, and we were going to see her again in ICW NHB. Oh, what a fucking list of fucking shows. What a fucking list of fucking shows. This is just the reviews, this isn't even the fucking main show I've got to go through here. Now, we will move on to FMWE at their event on August 15th. I will not go over much of it. I only saw the main event, which was Onita, and his guys were against Shadow WX, who was dressed as Mr. Pogo, RIP Mr. Pogo, as a sort of tribute to him. Sammy Kodaka was on his team and some other guy, but this was just FMW exploding ring death matches. There was throwing at the ropes explosions, there was pressing the button and the big alarm came off, bat explosions. Onita gave Kodaka a pile driver through a table that exploded. They went into the outside fucking time bomb things. It was like Pogo, Shadow WX and Onita were on the outside sort of fighting, and Sammy Kodaka kicked them both, and they both went into the fucking time bomb explosions. There was a fucking chair that had explosions on it. Shadow WX blasted Onita in the head with it, like fucking hell. He's like a 60-year-old man, like, he should not be doing this, but he does, and I fucking love him for it. And he's gonna fucking face map fucking Tremont in America, and I cannot fucking wait. I will hope that fucking shows outside and we get 7,000 fucking C4s and TNT explosions. I cannot fucking wait. The FMWE shows, bring them fucking on. Onita fucking being explosion matches every month, fucking bring it on. They are very samey, they're very slow to start with, but you get what you pay for, you know what I mean? Now, on to updates. Finally, that is the review portion of the show done. My voice is hoarse. We've got show updates. So GCW show updates. There's still saws in the background. I mean, maybe it adds to the appeal of deathmatch wrestling. Who knows? Let me see. For GCW runs shows almost every day, it feels like. So we've got updates for. This is going to be on the 20th. This is in a couple of days' time. At Meet Las Vegas. In Las Vegas, this will be on Fight. GCW's off the rails. Matt Cardona is going to be defending his fucking belt. It's probably been announced who it is by the time I edit this, which will be tomorrow on the Thursday. AJ Gray's against Ali Catch, that'll be fucking good. Too Cold Scorpio is against Chris Bay. Effie is against Ricky fucking Morton. And MDK gang, which is Gage, Mance, Justice, are against 440, Ryan, Atticus and RSP. Could see fucking Ryan getting a fucking match in GCW. Thanks Brett for that. Then on the next night we have got GCW against FSW at the FSW Arena. I'm almost certain they're the company where GCW had their first sort of like pandemic-y show. The one that was on YouTube, like very, very little crowd. Very, very early in the pandemic, I'm sure they had the show at this arena. Anyway, we've got Funny Bone and Cutthroat Cody. I'm familiar with Funny Bone, I do not know who Cutthroat Cody is. Anyway, they're against Gage and AJ Gray. Starboy Charlie's against Chris Bay. Ali Catch is against Sandra Moore. Not familiar with Sandra Moore, but it'll be interesting to see her. And we've got Remy Marcel against Atticus fucking Kogar. Now, on to another show that's been announced for GCW. They've got so many shows. They're selling out so many shows. It's fucking insane. Do you hear the hammering? You know what I mean? I work night shifts and it's 2 in the afternoon now. You know what I mean? Maybe these people should like go to their jobs. If they have jobs, all they do is every day they just sit about and hammer fucking wood and saw things to piss off me. Anyway, GCW, the highest in the room in LA in September 17th, Ukrainian Culture Centre, the same place as No Signal on the Hills. Announced for this show, we've got various people. We've got Nick Gage, John Gresham, fucking love John Gresham, Too Cold Scorpio, and Alex Zane, who got fucking sacked from WWE. He was in fucking 205 Live for like 2 fucking weeks and they fucking sacked him. Fuck WWE, but he's back in GCW where he's fucking appreciated, at least. Fucking hell. Then we've got Thursday and Friday, September 23rd and 24th. GCW is back in New York City at the Melrose Ballroom. This is where Joey Janela's Lost in New York was. So 23rd we've got Emo Night, and 24th we've got Get Lost a Lot at the Melrose Ballroom, which is a beautiful fucking venue. This is the one where Wheatus played and Gage was against Sabu and stuff. Now finally, move on to ICW Nodes Barred show updates. So they were going to announce a show for Illinois and then Michigan, and then Illinois kind of got fucked up. Anyway, it's not important. We have got October 1st and 2nd at the F5 Wrestling Compound, Germany Road, Fenton, Michigan. ICW Nodes Barred presents the Deathmatch fucking Circus, and I genuinely think this will be the next show. I think they're having September, the rest of August, September off. They did just run like April, May, June, July, like a lot of fucking shows in a row. So I think they're having this because I think this is the next show will be NHB 18 and 19. So we have got Deathmatch Circus. For night 1 we've got announced Mickey Knuckles versus fucking Sadika. First time ever. Cannot fucking believe it. Mickey Knuckles and Danny DeManto apparently had heat in the past about various different things. I like saws. But not when they're fucking downstairs when I'm trying to fucking talk about fucking Deathmatch Wrestling. Pain in the fucking cunt. Anyway. Sadika against fucking Mickey Knuckles. That is a fucking dream match anywhere. Mickey Knuckles and Danny DeManto have sorted their problems out, it seems. And we've also got stuff. So that's the first match for night 1. And we will just look at we've got more information about this. So this is on the Friday. This is night 1. 8 PM it is NHB 18. 11:30 PM we've got the Pit 4. And post-show we've got Deathmatch Stories by the Campfire. That's fucking cool. And then Saturday, which is night 2, we've got the Carney shit starts at 12 in the afternoon. Ruthless Pro Wrestling's running a show at 3 in the afternoon. And NHB 19 is night 2, 8 PM. So fuck yes. It's still a while away. Still all of that to wait. The only thing it means is when they're not running a show, it means that I've got more time to watch other shows. Because NHB takes precedent over most things. Like apparent building work takes precedent over my fucking arsehole neighbours' lives. Anyway, gonna be a lot of editing in this fucking episode. Anyway, No Peace Underground. We've got Rituals night 1 in Las Vegas on the 20th of August. I think this is running in Cole this weekend with GCW. Eric Ryan against Paro for the No Peace Underground title. Then Rituals night 2, which isn't the night after, it's on the 22nd of August on the Sunday. And we've got Matthew Justice against fucking 3. So that'll be interesting. Now, quickly, move on before my next downstairs neighbours fucking fuck up any more of my fucking video. We'll fucking mental it in my way to fucking work. Arsehole cunts. Anyway, No Peace Underground has announced the Gauntlet of Death 3 for September the 11th in the Soundbar. And this is news that I did not think I would ever say. XP fucking W is fucking back. I watched XPW back in like 2003, 2002 when I was reading Power Slam magazine, when Alter Boy Luke was there and they ran the ECW arena and Shane Douglas was the champion and Just Incredible came in and they had Raven and Pogo the Clown and the Sandman, and XPW is pretty fucking entertaining. It did die and it was terrible in comparison to CZW, but it was pretty good. So anyway, November 7th they've got the Rebirth. This is going to be in Rochester, New York. at the main Street Armory. We've got an 8-man tournament to crown the first XPW champion in 18 fucking years, which makes me feel fucking old. And we've got 2 people announced for that so far, and it's Masada and fucking Akis Kogar. What the fuck is going on? And on January 22nd, 2022 in Los Angeles, they've got a 16-man deathmatch tournament for XPW to crown their new deathmatch champion. What the fuck? XPW, Rob Black is back. What the fuck is going on in this world? Then we will move on to ICW Milwaukee for Insane 8. We've got some updates for that. Unfortunately, Kit Osborne fucking broke his ankle, so he's out, which is a shame. He's being replaced by Vic Capri, who I'm not familiar with, but I've been told he's very good. And Matthew Justice is out, I'm not sure why, but he's being replaced by Jeff fucking King. So, which is fucking good. Hopefully Jeff King turns up, because he was meant to be at ICW's show at Mania weekend. He was announced to fight Neil Diamondcutter and he didn't show up. Hopefully he's okay, hopefully everyone's fine. So we've got the card for Insane 8 just now. A non-tournament match for the ICW Milwaukee Alternative title. Percy Drews, Phoenix Kid, Herzog, fuck yeah, and Remington Roar in a 4-way. And then we've got the deathmatch tournament. I'm enjoying the sound of just them being cunts. Fucking hell. We've got Akira, Alex Colon, first round match. Jeff King against Schlack, first round match. Mickey Knuckles, Neil Diamondcutter, first round match. And Vic Capri against Orin Vibes. That's going to be fucking sick. And that is on August 29th, which is a Sunday. And we finally got updates for the show that I'm going to the day before my birthday for Rise's Outlaw Cup. We have finally got the first round matches announced. And we've got the main event announced, and I cannot fucking wait! We've got Big fucking Joe against Darko in an all-out fuckery match. We have got Caden against motherfucking Lou Nixon in an all-out fuckery match. And the main event for the Outlaw Cup, the day before my fucking birthday that I'm going to fucking live, is going to be the first time ever in the fucking United Kingdom a 200 Lighttube fucking deathmatch. I am so fucking excited. And for GOD 2, we have got motherfucking Lou Nixon announced to add to the field of Iceman, Big fucking Joe, Schlack, and Casanova Valentine. I am also going to GOD 2. Cannot fucking wait for that. Lou Nixon against Leo Darman. I'll show a picture here of what fucking happened there. Had a match at Summer Sesh, which was a couple of weeks ago now. And the promo for this is fucking awesome. I'll put a link to it in the description. It's Leo Darman talking about Joe Nixon. It's fucking mental, it's fucked up, it's weird, it's fucking great. It's not on the same level as Matt Tremont's heartfelt promo, but it's on the same level of creativity as a promo. It's fucking good. I'll put that up here, check that out. This will be in the description. So we've got that's for Rise, and then nearly finally, Zona 23 have announced, they've not announced the date yet, for Raydell Deathmatch Mexico 21. This is going to be King of the Deathmatches Mexico. Hopefully IWA Mid-South doesn't sue them, you know. Anyway, that'll be fucking good. And we've just got announcements and a couple of little results from Freedoms and Big Japan, but I need to find them on my phone. So Freedoms and ERE produced tonight at Shin Kaba Ring 1 with Jun Kasai against Takehiro Katiro. I've never heard of him before. We had also the main event, which was a 4-way deathmatch between all of ERE. Sakuda beat Takeda, Yuki and Violento Jack in a 20-minute deathmatch. I can't wait to fucking watch that. And then for Big Japan, they had 2 different shows. A BJW crowdfunding supporter limited performance. This was at Shin Kaba First Ring. So the Freedom show was on the 11th of August. And these shows were on the 15th for BJW. So, Ishikawa defeats Hyodo in a 2-sides fluorescent tower Lighttube deathmatch. And after this, these 2 young guys were both in Deathmatch Survivor. Drew Parker comes out and says he's going to defend the ultra-violent title against Ishikawa on December 23rd at Corrigan Hall. And this is the first time that a GCW title has been defended in Japan. Not the Big Japan title he's not fighting for, the GCW ultra-violent title. What the fuck's going on? And then the same day as the show, BJW ran another show, and we had, what else did we have? We had a metal highway deathmatch, which was Crazy Lovers, Masashi Takeda and Tasakamoto defeated G-Shock 1010, which is Hyodo and Hoshino. And we also had a TLC deathmatch in this show. Drew Parker and Ishikawa defeated Jackie Numazawa and Raijo Ito. So that is all your fucking deathmatch news and updates. I'm sorry it's taken me so long to get back to doing this. I've been busy working, I've been busy dealing with fucking neighbours who can't fucking shut the fuck up. But this was episode 21 of the News That Broke Glass. Thank you so much for watching. We're nearly at 1,000 subscribers for this, which is fucking crazy for me. Anyway, but as we say on this channel, no deathmatch, no life,